everyone. At 69 years old, Anita Turner, known online as the Global Granny, is challenging traditional ideas of retirement by slow traveling across the globe and embracing life on her own terms. From Vietnam and Ecuador to Spain and South Africa, Anita shares how travel helped her discover new cultures, unexpected joys, and a version of herself she never fully knew while living in the United States. Her story is an inspiring reminder that adventure, reinvention, and freedom don't have an expiration date. Hello, Anita. Thank you for joining me today. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So before we get started, I have to make a couple announcements. If you're wondering what's going on, who is this person, why are we here? My name is Yolanda. I am locating Cozy, and this is a broad chat. And on here, I share my journey to moving abroad and living in Spain for the past 2 years. And one of the things that I love doing is talking to other Black women and hearing their story. And the reason why is because no matter where you are, if you're just still in the planning stages, or if you are already out there bopping, or you moved someplace and gotten settled, your story resonates with someone else. And I hope that that's going to help another Black woman make an informed decision and do her due diligence. Before we actually get started, make sure that you do like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you will know when I have uploaded or I'm going live. Okay. And thank you for the support. Anita, I do like to start off with asking, how are you locating your cozy? What have you done that has brought you joy, that you have been putting yourself first, whether it was, last week, last month, last night, something big or small that you were like, you know what, I did that and I had no guilt.
I think that's my lifestyle now. So
Okay.
I would say that ever since I retired, I definitely relocated my cozy in everything I do. So I take care of myself. I do what I want, when I want, how I want. Freedom.
I love that. I love that. You know what? And we are all in different stages of our life. And as far as when we're comfortable locating our cozy, being selfish, putting ourselves first. And this is, I want to be like Anita when I grow up. I mean, y'all know it's like, yes. So because I, I've done things and I'm very proud of myself, but we get to certain levels and you got to the level where you're like, I don't care what you say, I'm doing it. Okay.
Exactly. Exactly. It's a wonderful level of freedom. Yes.
Oh wow. Oh wow. And I want to go back to that in a little bit because actually I'm going to ask you now, do you feel like you have always kind of embraced that, or was that something that evolved and you learned over the years of life experiences?
Probably, I would say evolved. I think I realized I was a lot different in my 30s, more so actually 40s, probably early 40s, late 30s.
Hmm.
And after that, you just kind of resign yourself and say, okay, this is who I am, and it's all good. And you don't fit into the box anymore, which
Yeah.
is okay. And there's a price. There's a price to be paid by not fitting in a box. You accept your price and you keep it moving because you know your peace. Because I mean, people are naturally selfish and they want you to do what they want you to do. They want you to agree with them, go along with their agenda, program, whatever. And when you don't, it's
Yeah.
like, okay, what's wrong with you? Well,
Yeah,
I'm
why
me.
aren't you staying in your lane? Because that's where I'm comfortable. So therefore, you should stay in your lane,
Yeah,
and
I'm.
you should stay in my lane, not in your lane. You should stay in my lane.
It's
You
yeah,
know.
yeah. It's interesting. It's a lot of follow the leader, and I'm just not that person. I had to be
Oh,
true to me. So when you find out who you are and you like who you are, you stay who you are. It
I love
works.
this. Yes, yeah. This is the perfect clip right here. It's going on social media. So how am I locating my cozy? I'm going to say that I've located my cozy by being resilient in my efforts to find a great doctor,
Mm,
a great gynecologist here. And I've had some challenges. I found like a great GP that I really kind of mesh with well. She speaks English, and I was actually helping her initially last year with learning English because I knew that there was going to be an influx of you English speaking patients for her. Anyways, but I've had some challenges finding a gynecologist that I really meshed well with. And I did find one, so I thought in Madrid, and I had gone to her a couple of times, and she served the purpose, the temporary purpose, and I will never speak down, but I am proud of myself for doing my continued research and due diligence to find the doctor that works for me. And I found a great one. And I just had my first appointment today where I finally, woman to woman, just talking here, I'm postmenopausal and I had not been able to get on the type HRT, hormone replacement therapy that I wanted. And the doctor in Madrid that I have been going to, it was like everything was just a hurdle. And I didn't realize that overall in Spain, there was still some setbacks for all the wonderful things that I can say about Spain. There were some setbacks that I had been experiencing as far as trying to get estrogen and progesterone since I was on the other side of menopause. And I found a doctor that speaks English very well, that's in Zaragoza, and that heard me, spoke with me and provided me with the type of care that I needed. And I'm not saying her name on here, but she will be a resource. And I told her that. And I said, do you have a lot of English speaking patients? She's like, no, not really. And I was like, you're about to. Okay, get ready.
Yes.
And so just for that, I just want to give myself kudos for not just accepting what I was being told in my new environment and just keeping up and finding the forthwith to be like, nope, I'm going to get the answers that I need. And yes,
yeah,
I feel good about that. So Anita, for those who don't know you, because we got some stories to tell, but for those that don't know you, can you give us insight before I go into the deep dive? Tell us about yourself. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about you.
I have 2 adult daughters and 4, I guess, young adult grandchildren now. The twins are 20. So I guess, yeah, they're young adults. I retired in 2022 and I have been on the road ever since. I started out looking for country dating is what I called it when I started out, because I wasn't sure where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do. So I kind of tried on every country, kind of like dating. Do I like this? Do I like that? And it's addicting once you get out here and start experimenting and exploring new places. And I decided, you know what? Let me just keep dating countries. This is fun. Just new experiences, new food. I like beautiful things. I like great food. And I like to explore. I like different cultures. And I decided not to box myself in at all and just live freely until I found a place that really resonated with me. And there was enough of the pro list along with the vibe that I would actually take the next step toward residency. But right now, I'm just having fun.
Okay. So you've been country, well, they call it country bopping, country dating. I remember the first time I ever heard country dating, I was like, so you got a significant, or you got somebody in
you got a boyfriend in every country.
I was like,
it's not a bad idea. I'm just saying, by the way, it's not a bad idea. But
yeah, I'm not opposed to that at all.
Right.
But when I first heard it, it took me a while to understand what country dating was. And I was like, oh. So during your travel, you have been throughout parts of Asia and Europe and South America and Africa.
Yes.
So what has been, I'm just going to go ahead and just jump into what countries kind of made you be like, I think I could fall in love with you and commit to you for life?
South America. Oh, I would say, well, you said country. Hold on. That's a region. That's not a country. That's a whole continent. But I really do love South America. I think the first one that I thought I commit, well, it's funny because when I first started out, I thought I could commit to Spain because I love Spain. So I totally understand why you're there. I get it. Yeah. Madrid was my very favorite, first one I fell in love with. And I was like, ooh, let's do it. But I can't do weather extremes. And I like to get out and explore. So they have winters, which are cold, and they have summers, which are hot. They actually leave in August. And I thought, if you have sense enough to leave in August, then I don't need to be there. That was my hint. And so that was my first country that I really fell in love with. Now, My next country that I fell in love with, Colombia. I am in love with Colombia. There's
Okay.
just from the and it's funny, not from a restaurant, but the fresh fruit and fresh vegetables that are there, the people, the culture, the coffee. I could be in Colombia for the rest of my life. I really could.
Hmm.
And the only thing that's stopping me is that I'm thinking if Colombia is that good, then there's got to be another place maybe that just is good, you know? I had a great experience with the culture, the people, the beauty. Colombia is a really beautiful, Medellin is beautiful.
Hmm.
And I stayed for a month the first time I went. And I had the interesting, well, I had the best experience from a kindness perspective from strangers. I was at an Airbnb and the lady next door just introduced herself and said, if you need anything, let me know. My Airbnb host was amazing. He actually picked me up from one Airbnb, took me to his Airbnb, and he didn't have a car. So he rented a Uber, a driver, or whatever to take me from one place to another. So I mean, it's next level. And I was standing out in the rain. A young man passed by me, put his arm out, asked me if I wanted to go to an umbrella, and took me over to Exito when I was standing under this awning of a restaurant when it was raining. So I've had experiences in Colombia, and I'm like, wow, these people are really, really nice. Not to mention the coffee is amazing. The coffee is really good
Mm.
in Colombia. The restaurant food, bring your
Is it like
seasoning.
Costa Rica?
I have never been to Costa Rica, so I'm not
Okay.
sure. But I
Okay.
can tell you that you need your seasoning if you're gonna go to a restaurant in Medellin. I have yet to find Bogota's different because I went to Bogota last year and I stayed for a month. So the food I thought in Bogota was overall better. But in
Okay.
Medellin, I just finally gave up. I just thought, you know what, I'll just cook. It was just easier for me to cook. And then I wander out later on and have a cup of coffee later, have a cup of coffee in the morning. And that was about it. So I can't vouch for the restaurant. I can vouch for the vibe and I can vouch for the environment. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful city. The people are amazing. The fresh fruit and veg are amazing. The prices are great. So there's nothing not to like about Medellin, Colombia.
Wow. So, and the reason why, because I think about it, and I've said this, so this is not a shock and everything. Spain has had some challenges as far as their seasoning when you go to like some, because some of the authentic
Hmm.
Spanish food where I live, I'm like, some bland ass shit, okay? But I am truly embracing some of the more of the international fare that is coming in. There's an influx of
Hmm.
more international cuisine, and so yeah, I'm enjoying that. And there are some Spanish focused, local restaurants that are very good, but for
Hmm.
the most part, it has been challenging to
Yeah,
my taste buds be like, I need
I
some.
know,
I,
right? I
I need
know.
some hot
I know.
sauce. Okay.
Right, right. And you know, if you need sauce, there's a problem. There's a problem.
Yeah. Because
Yes,
I mean, I'm not an extremely spicy girl, but I'm like, I need some hot sauce and some salt and
yeah.
pepper. And yeah,
I
but
need some flavor.
I cook
Just the
at
regular
home a lot
flavor,
more.
just the basic flavor, you know.
Yes.
And the
Yes.
only thing you can eat without flavor is fruit. So I was like, without seasoning on it is fruit. So
Yeah.
I ate more
They even
fruit
put
than
tahini on that. Yeah.
well,
Okay.
that's true. I put tahini, I only do tahini on my fruit is when I'm in Texas and it's watered down.
Oh,
But when
okay.
I'm out of the country, I don't need to put anything on it. It is wonderful just the way it is. But yeah, I feel you. I get it. I get it.
So I wanted to ask you before you decided to do this slow travel, what did the possibility of retirement look like to you before you started getting all this information? Or did you always have some, were you already like building up and researching way before anybody else even imagined?
I was already the one thing I always took vacations. I always took vacations. So I was already of the mindset of you can go somewhere, but I wanted to stay. I wanted to stay longer than the 2 weeks or the 3 weeks. So I wanted to stay longer. So I thought, you
Hmm.
know what? When I retire, I'm gonna go to everywhere I wanted to go and stay longer because you don't get a feel for the place on a week's vacation, or a 2 week vacation. You really don't get a feel for a place. You can
Yeah.
get a feel for a place in a bad way. If you don't like it, then 2 weeks is definitely enough. And you're like, don't want me back here, or a week actually. But I've always loved to travel. I've always loved beautiful scenery, different architecture. I've always loved that. So I did imagine a life that I would be traveling, but I will say that I never thought I'd be traveling to the extent that I am traveling.
Yeah.
So this is I've kind of taken it to a whole nother level with the and was accidental. The whole thing was kind of like an accidental slow travel because you're like, well, I don't, I want to stay longer. You get to a place and you're like, I want to stay longer. So I started changing up my return flights and extending the Airbnbs and the whole nine. And next thing you know, a month has passed. So yeah, it evolved.
Wow.
Yeah, it evolved.
Okay.
But I've always loved to travel. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. When I was asking you earlier about what countries actually kind of made you think about I can give this country my love forever.
Mhm.
What were maybe two countries that you were like, get me the hell up out of here? As far as your experience. As far as your experience. Okay. So yeah.
Yes, my experience was Japan and Johannesburg. I
Okay.
didn't like
Okay.
Johannesburg, and I didn't like Japan. And on Japan, it was in a means to an end. And it wasn't that Japan is a terrible place. The food is awful, and I know I don't understand.
Wait a minute, you
I
said it wasn't that Japan was a terrible place, but the food was just awful. I was like,
it was,
I thought you were about to say something else.
and I think what's interesting about when I hear people talk about Japan, and I guess I shouldn't say Japan as a whole.
Mhm.
Well, the food was bad everywhere in Japan. For me, I would have to say that's a true
Yeah,
statement.
yeah. So
But
your experience is your experience. You don't have to
yeah,
justify or yeah,
I didn't like the food. I mean, it
yeah.
was difficult finding because I'm vegan and I will go the vegetarian route when I can't be pure vegan, which is okay, that's close enough. But it was really difficult for me to find something without pork and without some kind of fish. And I didn't
Oh,
realize they were
okay.
so almost every dish is going to be, and they're pork people big time, which I didn't realize. Pork, beef, and fish because they're an island, so to speak. They're close to
Hmm.
water, so there was a lot of fish as well. But I didn't enjoy the food, the seasoning. The fruit was watery. The fruit was give me in a place where the
Waterlogged?
fruit was so bad. The fruit was so bad. Yeah. So it
Wow.
was
Okay.
it looked good and it was terrible. It was tasteless. It was. I was like,
All right.
how do you do that? But they did.
Like, how is this possible? How
I
can,
know.
yeah, how,
No.
yeah, that was a setup. It's like, it looks so pretty.
I know. It was a setup. It's a setup.
And you
Yes.
said the, and you said the other place was Johannesburg.
Johannesburg. Yeah. I
Yes.
didn't and what really got me about Johannesburg, I was supposed to stay for 2 weeks and I wound up leaving and going to Cape Town and coming back right before I had to fly back out.
Mhm.
Um, my explorer part is what got my wings clipped in Cape Town. I mean in Johannesburg.
Johannesburg.
I stayed at a hotel. I stayed in Rosebank because people were saying stay in Stanton or Rosebank. So I stayed in Rosebank and I was right next to the mall. I am the kind of person that drops my suitcase or my purse and I just go wander. You can't do that there. I mean, the bellhop tells you, a concierge, don't do it. Be careful with your purse. And I got so many be careful warnings because I was, I'm a single solo traveler and I was by myself. It made me so uncomfortable that I mean, I constantly got that every time I walked out, and I thought, okay, I can't do this. I can't do this. I did take the tour around on the hop on, hop off bus just to kind of go
Mhm.
around. I didn't do a walking tour. I don't even know if they offered it, but I didn't do. I did that just to kind of get
What
a
year was
feel for
this
the
that you
area.
were in when were you in Johannesburg?
2 years ago,
Okay, okay. So yeah, this wasn't like
recent.
a yeah,
Mm,
okay.
no. So since they warned me so much, it made me so uncomfortable that I decided, you know what, I don't want to be here. So after I did my tour, I rested for a day, and flights outside the U.S. It's like what, $40 to get there, or some crazy, ridiculous low price. So I hopped on a plane and went to Cape Town and spent the rest of the time in Cape Town
How
that
did
I
Cape
can
Town
wander.
compare?
To me, Cape Town is more comfortable. I liked it. It has mountains and water, and actually Johannesburg does have mountains, and it's a cooler climate as well. Cape Town is
Okay.
prettier overall where I was because I was actually on the waterfront. Now I've been to Cape Town before and I was downtown. I still enjoyed it. The food
Mhm.
is good. I love Ethiopian food. Love Ethiopian food. So I have a favorite Ethiopian restaurant there when I was there the first time. This was the first time I went to the water area and just hung out. I knew it was there, but I'm not a beach person, so I don't really care. But I was on the
Hmm.
waterfront, which has a mall and I guess the place that people hang out. And I was just kind of wandering around. I could actually walk from my hotel and just wander and not feel like, oh my God, I'm about to get hit upside my head or kidnapped or whatever that, they were constantly reminding me in Johannesburg. I didn't get that from the hotel that I stayed in Cape Town. So I just wandered around and do what I normally do. Wander around, I got good food too. I went to a place that I don't know the name of and I didn't understand the dish. And I guess it was local something or other. And the people were really nice. They tried to, get me to try different cuisines. I dropped my wallet, didn't notice it. And a girl told me, "Oh, is it your wallet?" On the ground, money, credit cards, everything. And she picked it up and gave it to me or brought it to my attention. I was like, okay, all right, cool. And safety is a big deal. Especially, I don't want to be in a place that I'm looking over my shoulder. I just don't. I
Yeah.
don't want to go to a place I stay in and I can't walk around the neighborhood. And,
Yeah.
so that's just my style of travel. I like to explore my neighborhood and surroundings and restaurants and coffee shops, and I like that level of freedom. So
Yeah. It's so funny. Well, yeah, it is funny to me. So I went down this rabbit hole last night. I was like, like just laid out on my couch and I decided to go down the rabbit hole of social media. And I was ended up watching like a bunch of random stuff on IG. But one of them was like the pickpocketers in Greece and Rome and Italy and how they, kind of get over and, before you
hmm
know it, was like your
yeah,
stuff is gone, your passport is gone or whatever stuff. And it's like, what
yeah.
the heck?
Before you
And
right,
yeah,
yep,
so just to know, like, and
yep,
for me, and I'm not saying that crime does not happen in Spain. I'm not an idiot, but there's a level of safetiness that I feel here, especially
right,
in Zaragoza, but also in Madrid, that I'm just like, I can't say that about
yes,
Barcelona, but in Madrid and especially
yeah,
in Zaragoza, I feel safe.
yeah,
Like I've literally had people like tell me, like, because I carry my
yeah,
little backpack purse, and they're like, your backpack is open. I'm like, oh crap.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. And I was in Madrid for a month, so I totally get it. I was there.
Mhm,
I went out at night,
mhm.
and it's a whole nother world that comes alive at night. And it's interesting. So I felt safe too. So I didn't get
Yeah.
and yes, I did. I was told about the pickpockets, and I am
Mhm.
not I carry my purses in front of me normally. I got a
Yeah.
crossbody or whatever, but I'm not an easy target for a pickpocket. People put stuff on their backside. I don't do that. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I can see somebody telling you, "Hey sis, your backpack is open,"
Yeah.
because
It's happened to me quite a
I've
few
had good
times here in Spain
experiences
since
in
I've lived
Spain,
here.
and
Mhm.
right, I've had very good experiences in Madrid, so I get it.
Yeah.
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 And even in
But the
Rome, I
people
went to Rome too, and I was also warned about the pickpockets, and I didn't have a problem. They told me pickpockets and gypsies. I must have that "don't approach me" face when I'm walking around.
don't mess around and find out.
That's right. Right. Don't take my
Yeah.
kindness for weakness. But so I didn't have a problem either. And I roamed the streets. Now I didn't go out a lot at night, but I did. I was out every day without
Mhm.
fear of anything. I was out wandering around the streets, up and down the streets, and you know,
Yeah. Yep. Yes, I
didn't feel
get that.
unsafe.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
but overall, but yeah, but in there, yeah, there's certain parts where again, there's just that common sense or something that, maybe the locals are telling you and stuff, but
Mhm.
overall, I didn't have that constant fear on my
Yeah.
back, like, oh my God, they're coming to get you.
Right.
Yeah, I remember the first time that I came to Spain and I was visiting my daughter and I had to walk down this back alley because my daughter and her then boyfriend, now husband, had like a little flat that I couldn't stay there with them. So I got an Airbnb down the street. That was like maybe a
Mhm.
7-minute walk. And I remember I had to walk down a back alley and I was like, ooh, this is
I
scary.
know.
Eh,
We don't walk through alleys,
yeah.
but outside
Here
the
you
country, you
do.
can walk through an
Okay.
alley. Right. If
Yeah.
you want to live, you don't walk through an alley. But I was in the alley in Hanoi big time. I was in some
Yeah.
alleyways, let me tell you. So
Yeah, and when I brought my sister in, so I came for the first time in 2018 when that happened, and then in 2023 when I brought one of my sisters over to visit, and we had to go down a back alley to get to our Airbnb in Zaragoza, and she was like, "Are you crazy?" I was like, "Girl, you're fine. You just you're fine." It took her 24 hours to really realize,
yeah,
like, "Oh, I am fine. Oh, okay." Yeah.
yeah,
What do you think,
right.
having learned about yourself since becoming a full-time traveler, is there something that maybe you kind of realized about yourself? I mean, I see courage. I see like I'm strong, girl. I got this. But is there anything that you can
Yeah,
say you learned about yourself
yeah.
that you were like, I did not know this was in me?
Did I not? I can't say that I didn't know it was in me, but I can tell you that my priorities shifted. I've always been an
Okay.
outdoor person, but see, when you tell people you're an outdoor person, they automatically think you want to hike in the woods. I ain't trying to hike in the woods, but I like fresh air. I like fresh
Mhm.
air and I like being outside. I am the only way that I will get a food delivered and eat in my hotel room is if I'm not feeling well or if I'm just
Okay.
exhausted and I don't want to go out. But I'm going out. I'm going out. And I've prioritized balconies, which is really interesting. I want a balcony. I don't care where I am. I want a balcony. And
Okay.
that's probably why I choose a lot more Airbnbs over hotels because most hotels don't have balconies.
Mhm.
So some of them do. Some a few of them do, but not like a Airbnb. And I look for that because I'm going to sit outside and drink my coffee in the morning or my tea or just relax and be outside. And I didn't know. I kind of do, but I didn't know it was that bad. I love being outside. And if I'm just sitting there reading a book, I can do that for hours or listening to my
Okay.
favorite podcast or stuff like that. I would say that's my biggest. Oh wow, I really do like. I will search high and low for big windows or an outside seating area.
Okay. Okay. The things that you're like, I like it, but it's like now it's like this. I think this is a requirement. Okay. It's like
Yeah.
more than not. Yeah. It
Yes.
might just be a requirement for me. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It's a requirement now. Yeah. And it didn't start out that way, but it's a requirement now.
So I know for me, my this whole experience, this whole transition of, like and going to different places and going to Mexico and going to Morocco and all this stuff. This was something that I give total kudos to a couple of dear people that I know and also my daughters. Do you think that your tenacity, your get up and go has inspired your daughters or the other way around?
Mine has inspired my daughters. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always loved travel. I don't think they had the travel bug earlier, but they do now for sure.
Okay.
And I don't think that they would go by themselves like I do because I'm of an
Hmm.
introvert and they're not. So
Okay.
they love to travel and they love to go and explore now. And they see me doing, they're like, wow, wow, wow. So yeah, it's me inspiring them.
Okay. See, this is, and the reason why I wanted to, we met, okay, so just full transparency. We met up, there was a group of us that met up in Marseille, France for Mother's Day.
Yes.
And it was just such a beautiful experience because we had all come from different walks of life. I think there was like what, I think there was 8 of us that met up for the actual brunch on Mother's Day. And it was
Yeah.
beautiful because there were some women that actually already lived in France. I came over from
Hmm.
Spain. Where had you come in from when we met up?
Hanoi, Vietnam.
Okay. Okay. And so
Yeah. I usually spend
yeah,
the winters in Vietnam.
okay. I like that. She's like, this is where I usually go for, yeah, Vietnam. It's part of the community that we have discovered and just put our, just so enjoying it. First of all, had you been to Marseille before? Had you been to Marseille, France
Yes.
before?
I've been to Marseille.
Okay.
And I have a couple of years ago, and it was my daughter, the one that you met, that one that was
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
She actually told me, she said, Mom, you need to go to Marseille. Oh, no, she said, there's a place in the south of France that you need to visit. And she was telling me about speakeasy. She was telling me about the atmosphere, blah, blah, blah. And I think I had like a week of, didn't have plans, was getting ready to go to another destination. I don't know. You know me, I'm kind of all over the place. So I scheduled in a week to go there. And I said, okay, I got some time. So I bopped over to Marseille for a week and I really liked it. I was like, oh, wow, this is a nice, cool place. The food was good. The food is good
Mhm.
because it's funny. It's more Mediterranean food than anything else. I don't think
Mhm.
France has a cuisine, but we won't tell them that. But the Turkish food, the Mediterranean food was really good. The
Yes.
gelato was good. And I enjoyed the waterfront and I enjoyed the old architecture. I enjoyed a lot of that. When I first went, I was like,
Mhm.
wow, I can come back to this place. This is a good place. But this time around, I spend more time in Nice, and I actually prefer Nice over Marseille.
Okay,
So if
okay.
I ever go back to the south of France, it'll definitely be more time in Nice and less time in Marseille. I probably will go to Marseille because Marseille's got a funky vibe, but
Yes,
I'll spend definitely more time in Nice. I could be in Nice for a month easily. Yeah,
yes. And so
yeah.
so my first time ever going to Marseille was just in I think August of last year. And
Mhm,
the thing was, I knew I was in France. I knew I was in the south of France. I didn't
mhm.
know that I was in the French
Yeah.
Riviera. I was like, and so I was looking for some
Oh,
communities when I
yeah.
went
Oh,
there.
yes. Yes.
I was
Mhm.
looking for different
Yes,
communities,
yes.
because
I
I was
know,
on to like
right?
Girl Gone International and things. I was just trying to find community, and I was like, why is it not coming up like France or Marseille stuff? And it's like, no, you need to look up French Riviera. I'm
Right.
like, I'm in the French Riviera. I'm in the French Riviera. It just
Yeah.
hit different.
Yes. Yes, it does. Sounds different. Yes, when you
Yeah,
said you go to the French Riviera.
yeah.
Yes,
It sounds
yes.
a
Or
little
south of
bougie.
France.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It
Yes,
really
it
does
does.
and stuff.
I just say Marseille and Nice. So I'm like,
Yeah, I was like, "Ah, I'm in the French Riviera." But so just to come back and have so
yes.
because
No,
when I
I get
went there
it. I totally
before, I
get it.
went there by myself, and then this last time when we met up in May, I was meeting up with multiple Black
Mhm,
women, and so it was such an honor to have both experiences where I was
mhm.
doing solo travel by myself and discovering, and then
Yeah.
actually to have plan get-togethers
Mhm,
where, like we did a tour, and I did the same tour, like,
mhm.
almost a year ago, and it was great because it was a one-on-one
Yeah,
tour. It was a little bit different this time because I didn't realize
yeah.
the tour guide was very kind of an introvert within himself. And I'm like,
Gotcha.
what's going on? Why aren't you like being as talkative and happy? And I was like, oh no, you brought that out of him when you guys were doing the one-on-one back in August. All that to say was I am very thankful that I got to have both experiences and that I got to meet you and your daughter. And we went and just had food and discovered
Yeah, thank you.
the herb markets and things like that. And
Yes. Yes.
that was it was just beautiful. We had such a beautiful time. Where else have you found great community, access to great community? Was it hard to find in different places versus other places?
No, actually, Da Nang, Vietnam, believe it or not, has a really strong, wonderful community
Mhm.
that I discovered. First time that I went, this is my third time going. I met a few people, and then it's almost like you meet new people or more people every time you go. But yeah, Vietnam surprised me because I didn't expect that level of community that's there.
Mhm.
And then when I went to Hanoi, it's a smaller community. Well, actually, I met just one person, but you have to remember I'm an introvert, so I'm not. It's okay if I don't meet people. So I'm not
Yeah.
that person, but I did get connected with somebody from a connection in Da Nang. So I got connected with a lady in Hanoi from people in Da Nang. So
Okay.
I had a couple of days that went around the city and did things that I probably, when people live there, they will expose you to different restaurants. It's an amazing vegan buffet in Hanoi. Oh my God. It was so good. It was so good. I could not, and I
Wow.
don't eat a lot at one time, and I wanted to stuff myself. That food was good. But the food in Vietnam is good anyway. I mean,
Mhm.
I've never had a bad, well, have I? Oh, I had one bad dish 2 years ago in Ban Hills when I went to Vietnam. Other than that, every restaurant has very good food and inexpensive food. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah, Vietnam had a really large community that surprised me. Medellin, Colombia also has a community of Black women. Well, I think it's mixed too because when we went on the walk, a guy was with us.
Mhm.
So they have community. When I was in Where else? I think those are the places that had the most community or that I actually met some people. When I was in
Yeah.
Peru, I didn't meet, there wasn't a community that I was aware of. In Ecuador, there is. So
Okay.
um, Lorana is in, was she Cuenca, and I don't know anybody in Quito, but I was there
Okay.
as well. So yeah,
Okay.
not
Well,
everywhere, but there are places that you can go that have great.
so here's the thing. I just want to make sure that everybody's, you take this with a grain of salt, whatever. But clearly we're Black women. we want to find our community as Black women, and with especially within the
Mhm,
Exodus Summit community, we have found so
mhm,
many groups of women, that Black women
mhm.
that are relocating or bopping or whatever. So wherever you go, there we are. But also, I have different types of communities that I connect
Yes.
with. So my sole goal in life is not to. I love connecting with wonderful Black women all over, and just Black people all over, and it's been
Mhm,
amazing. Just in the past couple of months, I've
mhm,
met you in Marseille, Melon in
mhm,
Madrid, had a big huge picnic for Memorial Day.
mhm,
Then for Juneteenth, I was in Lisbon, amazing. But also, I connect with other communities also. There might be an all
mhm.
woman community, it might be an expat community, it might be a local community.
Yeah.
I do encourage you to don't limit yourself to
Yes.
just what you know, okay? Because outside of the country, you don't
Oh,
know.
I don't. I don't.
Yeah, yes.
Outside the country. Exactly. My one of my good friends is in Colombia, and she's
Hmm.
Colombian. And
Hmm.
normally when I go to Medellin, because I met her 3 years ago, I actually stay with her. So I
Hmm.
stay with a local generally
Yeah,
when I'm in Medellin. This is the first time that I won't be at her house because normally I'm there, but I get approached more because I'm in restaurants usually during the day and it's not a lot of people. So the staff will ask me questions. When I'm in a hotel, I get questions, especially in Latin America, in Latin America and South America. But yeah, I am not opposed to making friends with locals. So I'm not that person.
yeah,
If you're friendly and I feel like talking, I'll talk. If I'm not, I'll give
yeah,
you closed answers because I just don't want to be bothered. I'm not
yeah.
people in for the day. But if you're respectful and nice to me, I'm going to be respectful and nice to you. So yeah, I don't
Yes,
mind.
it's
Yeah.
a whole different experience. It's like
Oh,
because
absolutely.
we are all kind of feeling, for the most part, feeling
It
this
is.
like release. Like, I don't know what's happening. Like, my blood pressure is going down some.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. And and the local people are friendlier in every
Hmm.
country. I mean, I have two ladies I met in Vietnam. They're Vietnamese and they want to learn English. So they came to my Airbnb. One of them came to my hotel. We meet up at coffee shops with local people. So we're Facebook, WhatsApp friends, Facebook friends. And I barely speak the language. They speak more English than I do Vietnamese because I only
Yeah.
know hello, goodbye, please, and thank you. That's it. That's it for me. But they want to teach me more because I've been going for the last 3 years, and they want to talk. So
Yeah.
okay, we'll talk.
I get it. I get it. What would you say possibly surprised you the most when you, I don't want to say explain to people, but maybe when you first told some family, friends that, that this is what I'm doing. I'm not going to sit at home and just like move into, a small one-bedroom flat. I'm going to go explore the world. Did you get any responses that was like, get out of my face? Okay.
I got no, I didn't get any. It's like I've always been a traveler, so
Hmm.
this was not a surprise for me.
Okay.
I mean, when first thing, if my brothers, I have two older brothers, when they call, they're like, "Where are you?" And get the "Where are you?" before I get anything else, and they support my daughters are supportive, but that's because they know my personality. I'm
Hmm.
one of freedom, and I've always traveled and I've always explored. So I never got a "What are you doing out here?" and "It's dangerous." I never got that from them. So I did get a
Okay.
comment from actually a cousin that was kind of worried about safety because I'm a woman, I'm by myself, and so
Yeah.
because the United States is dangerous, they project that and think it's dangerous, that level of dangerous in other parts of the world.
Yeah.
So I thought I'm not going where there's any wars or things like civil unrest or I'm not going to Russia anytime soon. I'm not going to Ukraine. It's where they're fighting. So I'm good.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah,
There is some,
but it's all
I
good.
do have some, I'll say some common sense about it. May not, and it doesn't have to make sense to everyone else. It has to make sense for
Mhm,
you. You have to do your own due diligence and research to figure out what's going to work
mhm,
best for you. And so where are you? So right now you are in Texas. What do you have some
mhm.
upcoming goals or
Okay.
where you want to go bop to next to go check out next?
I am headed to Panama, actually. Everybody tells me how wonderful it is, and I am not a beach or hot weather girl. So I'm headed to
Okay.
Boquete. So I will be
Okay.
in Panama City for the first week, 4 days. And then I plan on taking the plane to, you have to fly into David, and then you can go into Boquete. So I've connected with a few sisters that are Exodus sisters in Boquete. So I'm going to stay there for 2.5 weeks, almost 3 weeks.
Okay.
And I'm headed to Medellin. I was going anyway because my birthday is in the first week of August. And I love the flower festival. I caught some of it last year and I thought, I'm going to go back and celebrate a little bit more. And then I found out Exodus sisters are coming the day before I leave. So that's nice. I'll be able to have a meetup in Medellin.
Okay.
So after I leave Medellin, I haven't decided if I'm going to go to Quito next or Bogota. I like Bogota. I really like Bogota, and I like Quito. So I'm trying to decide which one I want to go to because I have to be back in the States for my grandson's graduation from college. So I thought,
Okay.
okay, so if I get a month, I'm going to either be in Bogota or Quito for, yeah, about three weeks, 3.5 weeks, something like that.
Okay.
I just haven't decided which one because I love cities.
And so I've never been to Colombia. For some reason now, because my son-in-law is Colombian, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I need to go to Colombia because it's like all the black women are going there, everybody's going there. I
Okay.
need to go. I'm like, girl, that's not your mission. Sit down. Okay. Understanding what your
Well, it
mission
might be.
is.
You might like it. Okay. You
Never
might
say
like it.
never, but right now that's not on my mission goals. Or yeah, my mission goals,
Understood.
I'm speaking this
Understood.
out loud, but right now I have a couple of little possible mission goals. One is to, in hopefully in 2027, I would like to go to Cape Verde because one of the women in the community moved there, and she's been like, "Girl, you got to come. It's
Okay.
amazing." Yeah, so that's on my list of possibilities for next
Yeah.
year. Amongst other things, there's places I would like to go check out. We'll see. We'll see. First of all, is there anything or any parts of this stuff that I didn't touch on or that you wanted to make sure that you brought up before we finish up on our interview? I want to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Mm, not really. Other than I hope more of us get out and see the rest of the world. It's a beautiful world, and they don't hate you. So I've heard a lot of negative things about a lot of places,
Hmm.
and just go experience it for yourself. And you're right when you said everybody's experience the same. Sometimes you'll bring that energy, not knowing that you still got that American baggage because you've been beat up so
Hmm.
much and on microaggressions so much. You bring that energy with you, and you don't know you brought it with you. So get out here and just make a conscious decision that you're just going to go with the flow. It's not going to be a mini America. It is going to be different, and enjoy the journey. Enjoy it, and just enjoy
Yeah.
it.
That's one of the big things that you try to tell people, because one, people are like, I've had the same experience that you had, as far as like there might have been maybe one or two people that were like, "Girl, what are you doing?" And so, but for the most part, I will say there was nobody that was like up in my face trying to like tell me you should never leave the US. It's like, versus what? I mean, what are you talking about?
Right.
So I haven't had that, because that's somebody that I
Right.
don't want around me in the first
Right.
place. And so, but also recognizing that to avoid bringing your US mentality and burdens with you will make your experience of travel a lot less joyful. So that's why it's very important that, yeah, I do, share and talk to, again, share my experience. There's good, there's bad, there's challenges. Not everything. It's not like we just travel and be like, oh, it's always perfect. No, it's not. No, it's not. But I will take this any day of the week, most definitely. So,
Yeah.
so I want to thank you. We're having a bit of a connection issue, so it looks like we're freezing up a little bit. So I do want to thank you. Please do make sure that you do like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Anita's social media is in the description below, so make sure that you go and like and subscribe, and follow her on her channels on Instagram and on YouTube, and she will be posting some content soon. Please do make sure that you like and subscribe. And I do ask you, how are you locating your coast?